future now? Nobody except my husband? Yeah? If you have a birthday? I think we've all got birthdays. But if you have a birthday like at all recently or at all sometime in the near future, happy birthday to you. One of those people is my wonderful husband, Harel Feldman, who is standing over here being very helpful with me.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Harel. I would just like to remind people of a few particulars regarding this conference. As I said before, if anyone is coming in, well, they won't hear this message, so that's useless. Please make sure to label your cakes. By the entrance, there is a small square table to the right of the drinks table. On that table are 2 cups. We requested a small donation, voluntary donation of 8 shekels to help us cover costs. If you would like to donate to this very worthy cause that enables everyone to get together and eat cake and be aware of cake, and use disposables, which were some of our costs, kindly donate 8 shekels. We also have an email list sheet to sign up on that table. So those of you who are not on Facebook, who don't get the very important notifications about the conference and would like to, please feel free to leave your name, email, and cake on that sheet. And hopefully we will actually remember to contact you ahead of the next Cake Conference if you're not on Facebook. And let's see, what else? Oh, interesting developments in the Cake Awareness Foundation world. I've heard tell that apparently we have a possible new branch of the conference underway. I've heard rumors that they're planning to start one in Germany. I heard this from Rafi. Rafi can give more details.
One of our favorite Jerusalemites who moved to Germany a few years back and attended one of the earlier Cake conferences by the name of Tamar Marcus is starting one in a place called Halle.
Halle. And that will, of course, be added to our already flourishing Baltimore division of the Cake Awareness Foundation, which has been having annual cake conferences for, I think, the last 3 years, 2 or 3 years. And I hope that, my sister did. She started the Baltimore division of the Cake Awareness Foundation, which is the organization that I made up to cover this conference. And we really seem to be multiplying, and Ken Yerbu, I certainly hope we have more volunteers to start conferences in other locales.
I hope we have more people.
Excitement. That's a good point. It is a very exciting concept. I quite agree with you. So one of our primary topics, perhaps verging on being the theme of the evening. I really don't like where this microphone is. It's like I'm only looking at people over here. Hi, everybody. I could just take it off the stand. That would be great.
Hi.
Woohoo! Still tethered to the hot topic of this evening's conference is the great pie controversy. And one of our goals this evening is to come up with a. We're trying to set policy for the Cake Awareness Foundation. We are trying to come up with a final solution to the pie question.
Just right after.
We considered actually renaming or subheading this evening the diet of cake, but I figured nobody would get it. See, nobody gets it. I was right. So glad I didn't do that. This controversy has caught the attention of the cake media. There's been an editorial in Cake Weekly declaring that, I quote, "The hullabaloo about pie has unfortunately overshadowed the more pressing issues that actually have to do with cake." Its competitor, Cake World, writes in its editorial that although pie wingers would have you believe that allowing these infiltrators is as natural as, well, apple pie, there is in fact nothing more unnatural. Of course, the relatively neutral Cake Quarterly has sidestepped the issue entirely, and its editorial is about perhaps our unhealthy reliance on fondant in this changing economy. Among the repercussions of our decision this evening will be the status of the Chirpumple, whether or not it will in fact be possible to bring one to future conferences. So think about that, folks. Think about it in your hearts and your stomachs. Yes. Now we held a poll of our members over the last couple of weeks, and the results were very telling. 46.88% of respondents said they did not believe pie belongs at a cake conference, while only 40.63% said they believe it does. However, when asked whether they wanted to be able to eat pie at future conferences, nearly 60% said they would.
It's irrelevant.
And only 21.88% said they would not. Now,
Do you have a pie chart on that?
People who either opposed pie or were undecided would still like to be able to eat pie at future conferences. So just bear that in mind. Just think about it, you know. And other results include that the largest percentage of voters on this question, 43.75%, said that if they were pie, they would want to attend the conference, compared to 21.88% who answered that they would not. Strangely enough, only one person felt this question was ridiculous. So it obviously wasn't. And 15.63% of participants responded that they felt it was unfair to impose a human imperialist voice on pie and frame it through our gaze. Asked if there were a war between pie and cake, which side would you be on? 31.25% said pie, while only 21.88% said cake. Meanwhile, nearly 35%, which is the largest percentage of the respondents for this question, said they would simply sit this one out and eat the spoils. Showing that war profiteers are present on both ends of the spectrum. And those who said they were undecided or didn't feel strongly about these questions numbered only 1 or 2 per question, and so they aren't worth mentioning. Asked whether they agreed with the statement the Cake Awareness Foundation should be a big tent and welcome all things that people often group with cake, such as pie, eclairs, torts, muffins, and elaborate donuts. Those who gave decisive yeses or nos numbered equally 37.5%. They were tied, while the remaining 25% said that that was an awfully long and complex sentence and that they only agreed with parts of it. Nobody was undecided about this. Asked if they agreed with the statement that pie should have its own conference, none of this coexistence stuff. 37.5% agreed completely. Only one person disagreed. 25% were undecided, and 2 people said they would even start such a conference.
Nice.
In a rather disturbing development for the future of literacy, nearly 10% of respondents said they did not know what coexistence means. And 3% did not know what stuff means. Now, a surprising number of unicorns participated in this survey. There were at least 5 of them who identified themselves, possibly as many as 13, which I find a little surprising because I only see 2.5 here at the conference, so maybe they voted twice, I don't know. But they could be late. They could be late, so keep an eye out for unicorns. Of course, these results are in no way decisive, and that is why at the end of this conference we are going to be holding a vote. We are actually going to vote on our official policy for next year onward. What we're going to do is all of the lectures tonight have the option of speaking for or against pi at some point in their lecture within their time slot. Some of these will actually be polemical arguments for or against the inclusion of pi. And these may affect your decisions, so listen very carefully. There will be official voting at the end of the conference at 11:20, depending on how late we're running. I will hand out little slips of paper. There will be a box that we haven't found yet. And I will be collecting the slips. You will write a simple yes or no answer to the question, should we have pi at future conferences? People who have to leave early, please let me know so that I can get your vote in before you go. Just approach me sometime before you leave and give me your vote. That's it for my opening remarks. The crumpet controversy is going to have to wait until next year. And without further ado, I would like to present Corin Feldman and Perry Sapir with their presentation, The Cake of Tomorrow.
Are we going to turn the lights off so that we can see the...
Oh, that's a good idea. We are just full of good ideas.
Alternatively, you could also
Middle
sit
one,
us
just the middle one.
while we're talking.
Number 45 primarily.
My name is Joe Stevens, and I'm honored. Thank you. I'm honored to be here representing Tangerine Technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, what is cake? Where did it come from? Cavemen once used cake for hunting because they didn't have ovens, so it was basically a rock. In ancient Greece, they'd reward triumphant gladiators with cake. In ancient Egypt, only the pharaoh was allowed to eat cake. Finally, in the early 1700s, humans started perfecting cake. They added icing. They mostly just added icing. And today, we all know the cake. It's part of our everyday lives, or at least it should be. It accompanies us wherever we go. Birthdays, weddings, social gatherings, funerals. Not the reaction I was expecting. Brisses, cake parties, and of course, dessert. Cake is ever-changing and evolving. We went from bun cakes, to sponge cakes, to Napoleon cakes, and we're not done. So where do we take cake from here? What could we possibly add to it, to this amazing, wonderful thing? How is it not yet perfect? Because we're so limited as to what we can do when we're eating cake. We can chew, we can swallow. Isn't it time to move on, to move up? But how do we do that? Technology. We took the cake we all know and love and we added brains. Introducing the Smart Cake. The Smart Cake lets you do everything you can do on a mobile phone, right there in your cake. You don't even have to reach into your pocket. Do you want to Google cute cats while you're eating cake? The Smart Cake can do that. Want to know how many bites you've taken? The Smart Cake can do that. Do you want to watch a video of people eating cake while you're eating cake? The Smart Cake can do that. Our competitors are bulky. They're ugly, they're inefficient, and their product is bad too. The Smart Cake is at least 5 years ahead of any other cake technology in the world. To tell us more about it, I'm proud to introduce one of our lead developers, Perry Sapir.
Thank you. So what we've done here with the Smart Cake is we took the cake, we hollowed it out, and we replaced the inside with a computer. Other cakes have between 0 and 2 gigs of RAM. We have 30 gigs of RAM right there in your cake. Other cakes have keyboards and mouses. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the 80s. The Smart Cake has a 10-inch plasma, 793 dpi Retina touchscreen display. How do you think you use it? With a stylus? No. You lose a stylus. You forget it on the bus. The Smart Cake is used with the best pointer who were born with 10, or 11 if you're my cousin Jerry. In a chart of deliciousness and technological usability, most cakes can be very delicious, but not very technologically usable. The Smart Cake was designed to be on the other end of this chart. It is both delicious and incredibly useful. You can even put your SIM in the Smart Cake and use it as a phone. Getting hungry while talking to your friend on the phone? Just cut off a slice. Want to order a pizza for when you're done eating your cake? Just make a call. We also have a 20 to 20,000 hertz speaker system, so you can listen to someone left my cake out in the rain, while with your cake out in the rain. Now, any Smart Cake wouldn't be complete without a camera. So we built in a 20 megapixel high definition camera right there in your cake. Now you can Skype with grandma without getting up from the table. Now, I know what you're thinking. This probably costs a fortune. Well, you wouldn't be wrong. The Smart Cake will be out on shelves tomorrow for an extremely unaffordable $6,000. Because you can have your cake and eat it too.
Thank you very much, Corin and Perry. Next up, we have Bracha Bennett Garland. Talking about Weapons of Mass Digestion, Part 2A.
That sounds scary.
She's going to need like 30 seconds to get ready. Don't go anywhere. No. I think we should all hum a tune together. Any tune at all. It doesn't have to be the same one.